It's episode 3 of our 5-10 cash game session. It's all regs all the time. This time around, there's Stuart, Digital Dan, and of course Wheel, the apple of every intern's eye.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I wish I had a split window. I had one when
I will say, watching these guys play, it really strikes me how much better the quality of play is on the show than it was, say, like 3 years ago when we first started. You know,
Sure.
This is a tough table for compared to what we used to do.
Well, having Stuart, Wonka, and Raphael in a row there, that's kind of a murderer's row.
Yep, of regs.
Really? All right.
You know that Wheels sweatshirt is short for Bama Lama Ding Dong?
I did not know that. Hey, Bill just called the raise with 6-3 off.
Yep.
And he does flop a pair and turns a card over and bets.
What were you saying about the quality of play?
I kind of don't have a pair, so...
I guess he showed a 3 and bet. I don't know why he would do that. Because he just wants to take it down?
I guess so.
Probably 19.
Very strange.
A guy with like 23 bigs.
Very, very strange.
Did you do that quality of play thing on
My
purpose?
head just broke just a little bit. Bill, not surprisingly, the big loser. Hard to get value, Bill, when you bet your pair and make the guy fold.
I'm just
Flag,
saying.
which I normally don't
Should have
do.
at least
I normally
paused and
three bet
considered
there.
that option.
Yeah,
But
you could have.
What's your stack?
I had like 3 million.
Okay.
Both.
He's got 700. No.
Yeah, and I just called, and then Jonathan tried to squeeze,
6-3's
and the guy like
Yeah, you
called
did
it.
That's a great shot.
With ace
Obviously, talking about a hand that we played in a big tournament, and when I squeezed with 17 players left, and
Had I
I got called by
three
ace
bet,
jack.
Jonathan would have folded.
And you
Sad.
lost.
And I
Yep.
might have gotten that guy knocked
Rafi
out.
would have made the nuts on the turn if he had called. He folded
It
ace
just
queen.
like ended up being bad for both of us.
He lost
He
like a
ended
little
up being
baby.
knocked out. The guy
The
called.
Wheel is going to raise like an adult man.
But only $35 more.
Yeah.
Because no one cares about sizing anymore, apparently. Sizing just is...
So you were talking about the quality of play like
Yeah.
before these two hands, and there's been clear mistakes.
Am I allowed to rescind everything?
Yes.
Hey, it's up to 70, not 60.
Oh, it's better.
If I'm out of position,
It's
it's
slightly
slightly
better.
better. Get a little bit more fold equity.
Maybe.
Change later.
Red.
Okay, he wants
Oh,
red.
almost saw the flop. That was exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's queen high, but there is a 5,
Yep, and 1 diamond for both players as well.
so Wheel will likely get some value here.
Should get some. Will checks his cards for, I don't know why.
Posterity.
Yeah.
He wants to remember this moment.
It's important to take a solid 20 seconds or so before you act.
It
You
is.
need to fill the time somehow.
That's
so.
the Bama Lama Ding Dong way.
It's true. Joseph calls quickly, makes up for that.
There's a hesitation
Wheel
when
time.
you said red. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but the rest of the table probably.
We're all just living in wheel time.
That's pretty good.
I change.
You know what kind of time his watch keeps?
What?
Wheel time.
I mean, I thought that's what you were going to say, but I thought it was going to be cleverer than that. So and then it was
Somehow
funny
it
that it
managed
wasn't.
to work, right?
Wheel bet's 225.
This might be the end of it.
Yeah.
Joseph has no prospects. Wheel is not a person who really tends to be 3-betting out of position with weak hands and then triple barreling or double barreling.
I'm not a huge fan of this size either, I got to say. I think Wheel should be targeting like pocket 8s here. 225 might fold out a hand like pocket 8s.
If it folds out 5-7, it's probably going to fold out pocket 8s also.
Yeah, because they play pretty similarly.
I'm not going to show you.
Trying to win chips, bud.
And Joseph does let it go.
Show him now. It's good for your image.
So I like that Wheel 3-bet, even though it was tiny.
Yeah, wheel time.
I like wheel time strategy games. That's where I play as Wheel wearing a Bama sweatshirt and go hit on entrance.
Can you say the
Not that Wheel
sweatshirt-
hits on our
Can you
entrance.
say the sweatshirt correctly, please?
A Bama Lama Ding Dong sweatshirt.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But that's what it's short for. I can't call it a Bama sweatshirt.
I prefer proper usage of the English
Okay.
language.
Okay.
Like
You're a bit of a
Wonka's,
stickler.
Wonka's full name is Wonka Donka Ding Dong. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not. All right, Joseph. He's upgraded his hand to 2 9s.
You had to pay for that.
But Ken's got the jacks. Jimmy Johns.
Let's do this as if we are pretending it's more exciting than it is, like
Okay.
you know a lot of poker commentators do.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, and Ken's got jacks. Oh my God.
What
Is
a-
Joseph
what a-
gonna survive this
what a
mess?
sick cooler this is. Oh no, Joseph. Oh, I feel terrible
I
for him.
can't see a way for him to get out of this okay. What's he gonna tell his family?
Joseph might just have to kill somebody.
All right, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
It was fun for a minute.
I mean, depending on the flop, it might be a little bit of a cooler.
We'll
We'll
see.
see. Not so much.
Nope. Ken should be able to get a little bit of value in this hand.
Yep.
I wonder if he's gonna go for it here. Yeah, it looks like he is.
Definitely doesn't have to bet the jacks, but it's fine too.
He's mostly just trying to get called by smaller pocket pairs when he does that and charge heart draws.
Yeah. Having the jack of hearts in his hand is another reason he could potentially have checked this. Have a little balance. But hey, he gets called by Joseph anyway, which I think is totally reasonable, of course.
I think, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, look at that.
well-
Another little deuce over there.
I wonder if
Peeking
Ken's,
out.
I wonder if Ken's going to go for value here. No, he checks quickly. On a brick river,
I don't think Ken's going to go for value, but I think he should if Joseph checks
I think
again.
if Joseph checks again, 100% he should right now be betting.
Oh, maybe he's thinking about it.
Got to get some value out of the hand that's good.
This is nice. This is a nice value bet.
And he looks like he's going kind of small. Looks like oh no, he isn't. Sorry, I take it back.
And Joseph calls quickly. Nicely
Yeah.
done by Ken.
That check back on the turn, I think, earned him the river call.
Yeah, that was a pretty advanced value bet by Ken. I liked it.
I mean, Ken has been known for making lots of pretty thin value bets on the river. Sometimes I think too thin.
Yeah.
This was not too thin, though. This was, I think, pretty clear, right?
Yeah, I mean, some of the time you're owning yourself, and
course.
Joseph's the type of guy who might check a king 3 times.
Yeah,
but
and that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as you get value, more than half the time, you're good. I think you do. I think Joseph's often going to bet a king on the river to try and get called by exactly a hand like jacks. Maybe even ace high when it's Ken, sticky Ken.
yeah,
You know why they call him sticky Ken, right?
because he rolls around on lollipops.
Nope. It's way worse than that.
Okay, then I'm not going to get into it.
No, I don't mean it like that. I mean, he loves stickers.
How's that worse?
Do you think stickers are better than lollipops? What world are you from, bro?
Depends on the sticker.
Name any child in the world who would take a sticker over a lollipop. That is one messed up child. That's a child who does not have flavor.
Young Gandhi, probably.
Maybe young Gandhi. Okay, I'll give you that. Anyway, digital and raises, and Bill calls with the 7-5 off with only 570 back.
Well, no, he limp
Oh,
called.
he limped. I'm sorry.
He limp called, yeah.
Still, I think my
I don't think so yet.
my
It won't be
concerned tone.
I think once he limped, he was supposed to call 30 more, but
I'm sure.
I don't think he should have limped.
I was really sure when they got there. And then
How much did Dan bet there? He bets 40 again.
they were like, dude.
Bill's got nothing going on.
Oh, and you didn't
Bill has a rich, full life. How dare you?
Okay, so and then at 3 they chopped. Yeah. Oh yeah.
What do you think Bill does when he goes home? Because you're telling me it's so rich.
You know,
Tell
I
me about
don't.
it.
I don't feel like divulging people's private lives on
2 words,
air.
Grant. Trampoline. Trampoline. That's what.
he just bounces on a trampoline.
I don't know what he's doing on
Does he
it.
build a trampoline?
I see. 2 words. That's what I said. I'm only telling you 2 words, so I already did. Those were 2 words.
Okay, I get it. You're doing a joke where trampoline is 2 words.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Everybody together
Everyone
now.
simultaneously.
Yeah.
How bad?
I am surprised Bill hasn't topped up, though.
Yeah, that is a bit surprising.
We do see that with some players. But so a hand just like this plays
It'd
so
be
much better if you're deeper.
Way better to have the 2,400 max in front of you. Really.
At least 1,000,
Yeah.
you know. At least have 200 blinds in front of you.
Feel like
Or sorry,
almost
it's
any
5
other way
times.
I
It's
could've
100 blinds.
chosen-
Building ratings for
I
the
could have
episode.
reasonably chosen to play
But
the
starting
hand.
with 57
would've
blinds, it's much harder to
done
play a hand
better
like 9-8 suited
I
profitably
did.
in early position.
Scrabble
Sense
Ruffy
to me.
is offering an opportunity that you haven't taken yet because you love
Yeah.
doing the Mike Sexton use their occupation
Oh, you're
when describing
right.
something thing like he can't spell his way out of this one.
That's
like,
a really good point. We're going to have to maybe do that now that you say that. It's going to be derivative. I'll have to wait an episode or 2 and then do it so
Yeah.
people won't realize
you're
that
gonna
I'm
wait 5
stealing it.
minutes
I
maximum.
was sure
I'm stealing it
he
from
could
you.
have just reasonably opened.
Nobody
very
flops anything.
reasonably
Ken just gets to take it down.
Okay, what do you have?
nines.
Pocket nines.
How
Yeah,
short were
folds to
you?
me in the small.
Ken, got one?
We have seen other players also not top up. Sometimes pretty successful. Like Timmer stands out as a guy who would go all the way down to like $300.
Well, there was one particular instance when he went from 1,000 to 200 to 5,000 to
Yeah.
2,000.
Yeah. But another time I think he went down to like 400 and then got back up to profitability like 1,200, 1,400.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I thought I
Yeah.
would try to live pre-race jam.
Oh.
Um,
You know, because I thought the guy would pop me a lot.
Fold.
Because his face is covered with tattoos, you know, and
Fold.
you know,
That is
How
so
that works. It
judgmental.
seemed like a
he's got,
popper.
he's got big
35.
ear spacers and stuff. You know? These are the reads I make
Ear
at the table.
spacers?
Is that like gauges?
Yes.
Gauges. Those.
Yeah, those things.
It's got to be considering a 3-bet here. Certainly not a call.
You know, I could see him calling against Stewart's cutoff range.
Call.
And you got it right. He did call. I'm surprised.
Joseph could 3-bet. With these two players, absolutely. Probably prefer a 3-bet versus a call.
Really? How come?
Because I think Stewart's cutoff range is wide enough that he's got a lot of folds.
Wonka has very few folds.
He does, but ace-10 rates to be better than Wonka's hand.
That is true. But you're going to be out of position to a good player. Sets up some weird stuff. Anyway, Stewart flops great, and no one else flops anything. So
As a verb. I mean, as a
You should
obviously can't be that bad if Joseph were to 3-bet. That would be a perfectly fine play.
I think when you're deep, it's okay. I think it'll be bad at weird medium stack depths that you find yourself in tournaments sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're deep, I think it's
Where you're going to have like 2x the pot or
against
something like
against
that.
these specific players. I think it's probably right.
That's fair.
Well, it says
Stewart did
all
not
in.
go all in. Oh, this. So look at that. So it says Stewart is one. Somehow the software thought Stewart went all in and got called. That's not what happened.
I don't understand how that math works because it didn't actually say he got called either. It just said he went all in and somehow that got him 2.6K.
Is there a way to blame
Manscaped.
the interns?
I think
It's probably the intern's fault, right?
I think we should.
Okay, so we're gonna have to just pay attention to Stewart's stack size and see if they got fixed or not. If not, we'll just remove 2.6K from his stack, and maybe add 2.6K to either Joseph or Wonka's
Yeah.
stack, depending. We'll just pay attention to that
Were you the one that taught me
because
that
as we see, Stewart just has a normal stack there,
Oh, yeah.
perfectly fine.
A good stack, but it's not.
Remember it?
No.
It says 5.6K.
It's
That's
not that
just
big.
wrong. He's got like 3K in front of him.
Lasagna hog.
That's all.
Palindrome.
Wow.
Yeah, I did not.
Well, I
come
think
up
it's
with that.
possible the software has eliminated Wonka.
Yeah,
That's
so
why
it thinks
he's-
Wonka called and
That was
lost.
what I was gonna try to do if I busted.
Just not true. In fact, Wonka's in the hand, and we're.
Seriously.
Oh well, we're just gonna have to play that out. Rafi did not call. Wonka did.
Yeah,
It's just hell on earth here.
It is.
Someone's getting fired. I'll just
For
tell you
sure.
that. But okay, it's kind of fun. We don't know what Wonka has, and Rafi's not in the hand. That's all. That's fine. We can handle this.
Because like 95%
Rafi would have flopped top pair, but instead,
like
Digital
the
Dan's
show's
got the
about
jack high flush draw.
And
We don't know.
Wonka might have something.
Yep.
Wait, sorry, what were you saying? I was.
It's like you yell out a letter. It has no. There's probably.
Just gonna bet here. I think Wonka often is gonna have a pretty reasonable hand here when he bets, either a good big spade or an ace a lot of the time.
I don't know. I mean, I think you have.
It's like we're trying to fix things here.
That's nice.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's.
Wonka
some
just takes it
randomness
down,
to
and
how
we'll
they
never
think
know.
I do too.
He's trying to help out, which is nice, but
My son was.
I think the software thinks, like you said, he's eliminated, so it didn't even give him a hand because the software is terrible.
It's ruining our lives.
The interns are destroying my internal life, and the software's destroying my external life.
Your external
There's
life.
nothing left. Yeah, you know what happens around me? The interns are killing me mentally. Software is killing me every other way.
Yeah, while you're waiting there.
Right. Well, hopefully we'll have at least Wonka existing.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get back in the game here.
We'll find out.
With a lady that was on The Price is Right, and it was just
Raise
exactly
35.
like you would think. She had the big hair, and she was just.
Oh, Stewart's got kings.
The Cowboys.
Well, it looks like Wonka's still.
Yeah, we still don't know anything about Wonka. Hopefully he won't play this hand, although it's kind of fun to play a hand when he's blind to it all anyway. Looks like they're trying to fix it. I'm pessimistic. That they're
Somehow,
going to fix this.
these unpaid interns are extremely incompetent.
It's so weird. Like, what do we have to do? I'm not going to pay people, okay? So tell me another solution. Seems like there's no kings left in the deck.
Looks like Joseph called with king 8 of hearts.
And there's king jack of diamonds, which definitely ain't folding. Whoa, it's 3 betting.
three-betting.
That's fine. And is Bill going to do something here?
He called, it looks like, with
Oh.
an unknown hand.
Feels like a grip it and rip it spot for Bill.
Grip it and rip it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a 4-bet from
But they,
Master Stewart.
sort of.
Master Stewart.
You have to win a
That's what the
lottery
butler would call him,
He
right?
does look like he would have had a butler.
He really
Not many
does.
people.
Would Master Stewart like some porridge?
They have to want you.
Raise 400.
Yeah, he's just trying to get in with Bill here. And
I mean, Ken's the 3-better though.
yeah, but Bill has called off a significant portion of his stack and is going to be getting incredible odds.
Yep.
I don't think Ken can continue in this spot.
He cannot.
Bill's going to probably have to put it in with whatever he decided to call with.
I mean, look at the odds he's getting right now. It's 415 to win 655. He should have a good enough hand, not necessarily against kings, but against Stuart's range here to go with. Assuming Stuart has some ace kings and some queens. Well, I guess we'll learn more when we see Bill's actual hand.
I had one of each.
Yeah, Bill, that's tough.
The odds are better than that, of course. 'cause
It's 2
there's
jacks. Oh, wow.
An additional 125 to win, so the odds are actually better than that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
I feel like a jack is
Oh, yeah.
Well, 2 jacks is obviously good.
Yeah.
He probably should. He should
He
have
should've
gripped it and ripped
gripped it and ripped
it.
it.
It looks like he gripped it, but he didn't rip it, and that was
Yeah.
the problem. You got to rip it also.
It's easy to forget to rip it.
You're so busy gripping and make sure your grip is good. Stuart's just got to fade a jack. He does.
Oh, bring that in there. So there's Stuart. Nice hand, Stuart.
Yeah, I should have pulled it. I didn't write it down.
Well, not exactly.
Not sure if Bill's coming back or not.
We're not sure, no.
It does say he's eliminated, but that doesn't mean he's not coming back. He can get more chips.
If you get really good at gripping it and ripping it, eventually you can grapple it and rapple it.
Really?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
You know it when you see it.
Okay, it's like pornography.
Yeah.
Bill's leaving his
It looks-
sound equipment.
that-
That's usually.
that's indicative that he is done.
Yeah.
I guess he came with 1 bullet and decided he was sticking to it.
I guess that's why he didn't top up if he
Yeah.
came with 1 bullet. Assuming that is what's going on.
Can I have your time card?
Well, I guess we're going to see if we get another player or if we continue on 7-handed. 7-handed doesn't suck. It means more action.
Yeah.
More hands get played. A little more aggression from some players, especially when we've got some of the players we have at the table where we have the Stuart, Wonka, Rafi, Joseph lineup.
Yeah.
Back to back to back to back. That's going to be some people playing back at each other most likely.
Looks like we're having a little pause to try to figure out the Wonka situation.
Yeah, well, that's good. The Wonka situation, kind of a disaster.
So let's, we know what Bill does when he goes home. What does Wheel do when he goes home?
I mean, he's a dentist, right? He's an at-home dentist,
Yeah.
pretty clearly.
You could do the Marty stat.
I mean,
But it's like a recreational dentist.
yeah, I know. He's not charging people. He can't charge people.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah. He also doesn't have any licenses or anything, but he's seen it on TV and movies. He's studied it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a human centipede type situation, except with dentistry.
You saw that Richard Gere movie
LA.
where he's a dentist? Isn't there one he's like a dentist murderer or something?
I don't know about that. I mean, probably. There were a lot of them.
I don't know.
You thinking of Novocaine with Steve Martin?
Maybe.
Choose, but I'm not going to say it on the screen.
Don't know if he was a murderer in that, actually, but he may have been. He was doing untoward things.
I took the best answer.
Wonka's back.
Hey, we have him with probably the correct stack and everything. Probably. And he wakes up with 2 walking sticks.
Oh, this is amazing. We have Ace Jack for Wheel and Wonka with the walking sticks. What's going to happen?
This is such an unfair spot. I mean, I guess it's classic, but so unfair. And Wonka 3 bets.
It's actually a little surprising.
Yep.
I guess it's just an isolation policy.
Yep. He doesn't want to have
He has
to
a-
flop a set.
It's a
So
wheel isolation policy.
he's like, we'll talk here, guys. That guy's dentistry is terrible.
You can't beat free.
Where is the good future?
You know what Wheel's favorite show is, right? TV show?
I'm going to guess it's the Big Bang Theory.
No, it's MTV's The Wheel World.
Okay.
Just stop getting cool and start getting wheel.
Stop getting
I don't
cool.
remember what they said,
Is
so
that-
I said cool.
Is that the real world?
They say something. They say stop getting something and start getting
You
it.
told us this earlier.
And he just throws away the ace jack. Not crazy,
No,
actually.
I like it.
Me too. He didn't have very much invested. He's out of position to a good player who's going to have the correct ranges here. Ace jack does not play well.
Stop getting cool.
Good find.
Stop. No, that's not it.
No, it can't be.
Stop getting what? Stop getting.
You were in Dubuque?
Stop fronting. Stop fronting. Start getting wheel.
Yeah, I remember you said you were in Iowa.
Anyway.
I know it started in like the mid '90s, right? Stop fronting wouldn't be way off.
He probably doesn't watch that show. That's probably not his. You know what his favorite TV show is,
Big
right?
Bang Theory. Stewart is
No.
opening King Jack of Clubs under the gun.
It's Wheel Time
much
with
like
Bill
young,
Maher.
much like young Sheldon would have. By the way, that's a great nickname for Stewart.
Young Sheldon.
How about my Well, I lived in Iowa and I needed to go all
Sorry, Stewart. It's sticking.
over all the cities.
It's gonna happen.
I don't even remember where.
Younger Sheldon.
Dubuque is on the. It's on the Mississippi, is it?
All right, so Ken calls with the Queen 10 off.
Des Moines is on the Mississippi.
Calls Stewart's under the gun raise. That seems not
daughter at
ideal to me.
Went in there
And we
with
didn't see the flop, but we can see it on the screen. Stewart has flopped well.
Yeah. It's a good board to continue on.
It's one of the tri-cities.
Got the nutted
Quad
aces.
cities, whatever. Yeah. Davenport is.
No one else as it turns out. Well, I guess Digital Dan does have bottom pair. This isn't really the flop you look for with bottom pair. It's the small blind.
Anyway, my daughter
And
was at a dive
Digital
study.
Dan folds and agrees with.
She needed a car for college, and she's going to LSU at Baton Rouge. So I flew to Des Moines, watched her.
Yeah.
Bought-
You know what Wheel's favorite movie is, right?
The Big Bang Theory.
Reality Bites.
She had an athletic event at Iowa.
Okay.
I got this thing. I'm working this thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I went and watched.
You're squeezing it for everything it's worth.
Yeah.
What is that idiot doing?
Welcome playing a hand that is for some reason a favorite of many people on this show.
Why did you say he was playing it?
Well, I mean, he played it by folding it.
Okay.
Joseph playing a hand that is a favorite of mine.
Your favorite hand is tens?
No, but it's up there. It's like a top 4 hand for me.
Top 4.
Yeah, my favorite hand is Queen Jack suited, and I think pocket nines is next.
Okay.
I have, happy memories with those hands. That's all.
Not the card Joseph wanted to see there. He could go either way here.
Yep, agreed. It's not so bad to bet here just to deny Broadway card equity and
Taking
other weird
advantage of
stuff.
the statement you made earlier.
I was still. Oh, yeah.
Should I count?
Yeah.
No, not 5.
I think it might be right. Yeah, I think it's right.
So Wheel, the aspiring dentist.
What is Stewart doing? He goes home. Don't answer that. You don't want to know what young Sheldon does.
I mean, I'm not going to answer what he does. I'm just going to take a guess, though.
Okay.
I think he, tortures mice, but mostly emotionally.
So he's like, really,
You're fat. Why do you look so terrible?
that's really mean.
Yeah, I know.
I wish.
But for him, it's more of just an experiment. He cares about the science of it. He's in it
Ah.
for the science, not for the
So the control
cruelty.
group, the control group does not receive the insults.
Right? They don't get complimented, to be clear, because that would be a whole separate. The control group just gets the normal
Yeah.
amount of mice. What you would say to a mouse. Like, what's up, dude? How you doing, little buddy? Stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'm playing. Oh. I'm playing Dan Ross. Heads up. 2-5 blinds. We each start with 1K.
Yeah.
He is putting up 1,500 to my 1K, so I'm getting a 3-2 price.
40 total.
40 total.
And for the entirety of the match, every half hour we each have a drink.
You gonna raise the blinds or no?
No, constant blinds.
Play
And-
until one guy has it all?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm getting a price, but
Yeah.
he's also has more of an alcohol tolerance than me. Probably.
Every half hour you have a drink?
Yeah.
Okay. And so how do you come up with 1,050?
Well, Stewart's 1,000, and then I bet 50, and I got Dan.
There we go.
So a separate.
No price.
So I don't know if you could hear what's going on there. Stuart's playing heads up with a guy.
To get him fired up.
They're going to drink every half
So I
hour.
was like,
The other guy's got a
Stewart's
bigger
looking for more
tolerance, and
action
so
against
Stuart's
you,
getting
man, like even money.
1,500 to
You know?
1,000.
Yep.
Whoever wins all the chips.
Yeah, that was like.
Wonka mentioned he bet on the other guy. I'm the guy who he bet with. So I bet on Stuart at that price.
But I figured the trash talking might motivate him a little bit. Yeah.
I also got a
What are
price.
the
Inside
is there
info,
like a
the
minimum
game was
alcohol
called
content?
because they were
Yeah,
too
well,
drunk.
Yeah,
They could not complete the
They
game.
did actually play it out. They played for hours and hours and hours, and they ended up vomiting all over the.
So you're gonna be
floor and
drinking
stuff
like
that. It was really
light
bad.
American beer.
Very reasonable price.
Hope Stuart doesn't mind us saying that. He might. Oh, you know what? He quit his job. He doesn't care.
He was telling the story on TV.
Yeah, it's true.
Very far away from. I have like a runner.
I'm coming.
Drinking alcohol is not illegal. Not in Portland, Oregon.
I don't claim to know all the laws.
Okay.
Nothing good happens on weekends.
I mean, can you name every aspect of the tax code?
Drink and stay like pretty together. That's
Up
the thing.
until 2011, and then I kind of stopped.
Yeah, it gets harder, right?
I stopped really paying attention.
You didn't go to the conventions? You got to go to the conventions.
Well,
That was a pretty good
I mean,
vocabulary. It seems
they get so
confident, you know,
technical.
even when he's like,
Yeah. That's the point.
the drinks down.
If you don't love that, I don't know what you're doing there.
And the other thing is they got rid of the margarita bar.
It was legendary.
Yeah.
You can still crack his aces with ace 4.
They replaced it with a Dutch Brothers. Are you kidding me?
A lot of people don't know what Dutch Brothers is. They don't have that everywhere.
Coffee shop.
Yeah.
35.
Wonka with the king 6. Wonka's playing a little different than he used to play. Calling with the king 10 on the button before, raising king 6 on the button now. That's not normal for him.
I think raising king 6 in an unopened pot on the button is not too far from what he would normally do.
Well, but you said not too far, meaning it is some distance, though, right?
I mean, he would raise king 7, right?
I don't know if he would. King 7 off on the button. I think he mostly throws that away.
You guys should just put the
Well, look at it. Look at this. He's playing king 6, so you're wrong.
on the table.
I'm wrong today.
We could do that. We could do that.
Joseph seems to be thinking about
It would add
donking here.
He does.
This would be a surprising board to suddenly bet on. Nope, it checks through. It's all a lie. Joseph turns double gutted, though.
Yeah, that's pretty nifty.
Yeah, Wonka, of course, with the singular gut shot here, and I would expect somebody to bet.
It is a jack on the turn. You can't see it there on the screen.
It said that Joseph bet, but it was a lie because our interns are trash.
No, Joseph did just bet.
Yeah, but it said check. I'm sorry, it said
Ah.
Joseph check. I said that incorrectly,
You're calling people folding,
Sad
playing.
thing, thought
You're
about
calling
this. Yep.
bets checks and checks
and I'm
bets.
yelling at the interns
Yeah.
because
I thought that
I'm
was
a
something
hypocrite.
Dan- Well, because this was something that I thought Dan could do that would improve his chances, you know?
Whose side are you on, Nick?
I bet on him. I have to be on his side now. I was like, yeah, Dan can just play real slow.
You're playing with a clock?
No,
Oh, you're not?
I'm not playing with clock.
Then how are you dealing with the tanking?
I will just aggressively call clock.
Okay.
Some of you newer folks may wonder why they call him Digital Dan.
We agreed that would not happen.
There's a reason.
Is he,
It's dark.
It's real dark.
No, not really.
But it's
I'm surprised he's willing to be known as Digital Dan, based on the reason.
What he did.
But just as a way to turn it into a more drink
You heard of the Space Shuttle Challenger?
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow.
Want to play for 8 hours.
Too soon.
Everything's too soon for you.
He thinks he wants that. He will not actually want that 5 hours in.
3 players.
What happens if you
The
both
wheel
pass
opens
out
with the
king
ace-8 of hearts. Flops top pair.
Concern, I'll be honest.
Middle
dealing
pair
with the chips.
for Ken Meister.
Two backdoor heart draws as well for these guys.
double KO?
Once they wake up, you just
When did
yeah,
it
the other
become a thing where people take somebody's name and add Meister on the
I
end?
don't know. It's been a long time.
It's kind of weird.
So Stuart's the one betting, though, interestingly enough. He's the only guy who, I guess he's got two back doors and it's checked to him.
I think Wheels got to overcall here, but it's uncomfortable.
Yep. It's going to be a pretty easy overcall, I think.
Anything college
Ultimately,
taught
it's only
me is that people
55.
overestimate
You get to
the
see what
amount they
happens
can
on the
drink.
turn a lot.
You didn't hang out with me in college. Nick.
Wow, and Wheel just lets go of top pair.
And
What a
these were
deal
the
for
kind of
Ken.
things they would say.
Really amazing.
That is fair.
And Wheel would have turned trips.
Can we
and-
see Wheel's face, please?
And now Ken has an easier call down, too.
Yep.
This has worked out spectacularly well for him.
Stuart may not even try because he knows Ken is so sticky.
Right, he might think, oh, well, if he had an ace, obviously he's not folding. And if he had a queen, it makes it less
Yep.
likely for him to
I
fold.
know, that'd be so
And
sad.
And
Wheel
now
would have made quads.
there is no folding for Ken at this
Wheel
point.
would have made quads and gotten action
Call
from
the
Ken.
whole way.
I think Ken should
Only
check.
getting like 500.
I don't like this bet.
I don't know what
Yeah.
the point of this bet is at all.
He's gonna try
I don't
to
think he's
roll
getting
on
value no
the
matter what, but I think this is impossible to get value,
Yeah.
basically. Like, Stuart's
Oh, yeah, I
folding
guess if
anything
you
worse
end
than a
up
queen.
playing
Absolutely, he's folding
rematches or
jacks.
multiple matches or
He
whatever,
never has
I'll
jacks,
just
and he's
take
always
action on
folding
just
them.
first
Yep.
match.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's a mistake.
You're not gonna play more than one match.
I mean,
Well, there was only one.
I wouldn't be.
There was
What if,
only
if
one
it
left.
lasts
There's just
like
no
2
plausible
hands,
bluffs that Ken
you
has
know,
there.
like-
That's the problem. If there's 2 to a flush
You know,
even,
I
he can
guess I'll
bet
like
there
that.
on the flop. I mean, he can bet there sometimes and at least
whoever
have a
loses
bluff.
Yeah.
But ace, queen, 4, rainbow,
Might not want to just like immediately jump back in and play again.
I mean,
I guess he can have a few
Like
gutters.
if he loses, he probably
know.
won't want to.
yeah, I think it's one-sided there.
If you lose, it's not as big of a deal.
If I lose very quickly, I
You know,
will
Wheel's feeling the pain of having folded quads
he
for
might not take the same
$55.
loss
Yep.
on a rematch.
Damn, I'm a ding dong.
And Ken bet $200 on the river, which probably would have happened anyway.
And Ken might have called a raise. We've seen Ken do stuff
Yep.
like
But
that.
if it's a
He
win
might
after
have.
like 2 hands, it
He's certainly
doesn't
going to
count.
get one bet out of him, and
Same.
maybe
But
maybe a
to
raise
begin
as
with,
well.
He gave this price to begin with. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Ken probably does call a raise there, actually, because I'm assuming it checks through on the turn a lot.
The original agreement was his 2,500 to my 2K.
Well, Ken's got a nice hand here, and
Yeah.
just calling out of the small blind. I think this is a prime spot for a raise.
It's a pretty good spot. Think about what Wonka's hijack range is.
Yeah, just right there.
Now Ken's got it's a much tougher road here. 10's 4 ways out of position to everyone.
Well, that's going to make it a little easier.
Yep.
Wonka does flop a gut shot.
So does Digital Dan.
Sorry, I meant digital.
So does Joseph.
I meant digital Dan and Joseph, of
Yeah.
course. Wonka's the only one who didn't flop a gut shot.
Yeah, he flops top pair. Well, yeah, Ken of course didn't either, but Wonka betting, thinking he has the best hand. It's reasonable.
This is a hand for Joseph that I don't hate raising.
I think he's thinking the same way.
You block straights, which is great. And 4 ways, it looks super strong.
It's in his neighborhood. If he improves via a straight or set, it's hard to get any action except from hands that beat you.
Yeah, I think this is a good hand to turn into a raise.
Yep. If they were heads up, he could call very reasonably, but having 2 people behind, especially.
Looks like he agrees.
Yeah. And this is going to be powerful. It's going to be really hard for Ken to continue. Sticky Ken, though. But
Ken obviously looking uncomfortable here and trying to figure out what Joseph could have. Joseph
Yep.
could have the nuts. He could have 6-8. He could have a set. He could have 2 pair.
no question. Ken, though, loves those stickers. He's not going anywhere yet. Will Joseph keep firing away?
And now Wonka's in a weird spot. Getting an incredible price, but like, how can he be good?
You can think one of these guys has spades, but you need both of them to have spades. I would be really worried that Ken just has me beat, which he does, by the way. But I'd like an ace-9 type hand, mostly. Ken could have 10-9, but you still need Joseph to have spades, and you still have to beat everybody by the river. So I like a fold.
It's a bit too much to get it all to work together.
I agree. I think if everyone else folds, Wonka's got a call there, but with Ken overcalling it.
Another spade. This is a real opportunity for Joseph.
He also actually, I mean, he turns double-gutted and a flush draw.
Including a straight flush draw, by the way.
I mean, that's an incredible card for him. He doesn't know that the spade is good, but still, incredible spot.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time Ken did just make a flush.
Yep. But every time he doesn't.
It's really tough to call now.
Oh my gosh, is Ken going to find a call here on this card? Yes.
He even looked back to see if he had a spade and called anyway when he realized he didn't. It was a small bet. It was a small bet. And
the 9 of spades comes in. That's Joseph.
Joseph gets there big time.
Very unlucky for Ken.
Ken very much hates that card.
So unlucky.
I don't think Joseph can profitably bet here.
No way. No way.
No spade.
Let's look for the pain. Yep, there's the pain. That is pretty unlucky for Ken when he makes
the right call on the flop and the turn.
Yeah, those are 2 spots where I might have found a fold. He found a call both times correctly, but got punished anyway.
That's why it's nice to have hands like Joseph had there in your raising range as a bluff sometimes, because it's not a hand with like completely no value. Or like the Queen 6 of Hearts, for example, that was also in the hand, is less enticing to me as a raise, even though it has no showdown value, because there's fewer good things that can happen in the future.
You mean like running spades is still good?
Yeah.
Is at least an option here.
Or hitting a set.
Right, right.
Or having the best hand, because you get called by a flush draw.
Yes. Wow, what a deal for Joseph the way that hand worked out, though.
Worked out great.
When he got called on the turn, I'm sure his heart sunk by the stickiest guy in the room.
Fold. Call. Fold.
Ken gonna call, maybe tilting a little bit.
Maybe. He does play these kinds of hands, though, too. But he might be tilting a little bit. Everyone's got an 8.
That's always good news.
I love to see it.
Backdoor draws for Wonka and Ken.
It's a pretty dry board. Wonka could take a shot here with his backdoor flush draw overcard.
Yeah, it's
dryness.
like it's in like the 10th percentile of wetness, this board.
Mm-hmm. Let's see how Will can continue. Wonka bets half pot and takes it down.
And that's how you do it.
Look at
interesting.
That hat is really blocking Wonka's face. I thought we had a no hat policy here. What happened? How did he get that? How did he get to wear that? The Mike Postle thing. You're not supposed to wear hats anymore.
It's because his face is, you know.
we're doing a public good here.
I don't know if I would have disappeared right away? Or?
Sorry, Wonk. I didn't mean that.
Yeah, and obviously no one thinks you're cheating.
I would have turned
Well, I should say no one. We don't think you're cheating. We've never heard anyone say it.
Yeah.
Can't speak for
I
everyone
would
in the
not.
world.
I would not
Does
have
not have
more.
those, you know, protruding things underneath his hat the
Yep.
way Postle did. Because I'm just going to say it, Postle cheated.
Yeah, I think that's a fair thing to say.
I do too. Even though Turning Stone is now claiming
Turning Stone?
Turn it into a bluff.
Is that the name of the casino?
that, isn't it?
I thought it was just stones.
Oh, Stones. You're right. Turning Stone's a different one.
Ah.
They're in. It's a card room in New York. They used
Way
to have, they used
to
to have really big
disparage
stuff.
a non-guilty party.
Sorry,
and
Turning Stone.
Probably a very litigious one also.
But Stones is
I can't imagine.
now
that.
taking the legal response that Postle didn't cheat.
Right.
Because I'm sure they have to, otherwise they feel like
They might get it through. The judge is unlikely to understand
Yeah.
poker in a way that makes it clear that Postle cheated.
I understand why they would do it, because otherwise they're liable for $10 million and maybe more. And instead they're liable for nothing.
Look at this card for Stewart.
What a card. And
I think he's just going to win with a bet.
I think you're probably right.
But he is free rolling if he gets called.
It's free rolling like Tom Petty when Tom Petty was alive.
Do you mean free falling?
Of course.
Okay. Good.
No, that's not so weird.
Are we at the point where we're just going to give you credit for anything that you get close on?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
And I'm free.
No, I guess I should have said my
I love that song that he does, Last Dance with Becky Sue.
There you go.
That's a good one.
I don't like talking to you anymore. You know, there's a new Amazon show that's going to come out that I'm sure Wheel's going to love.
The Big Bang Theory is going to Amazon?
The Wheel of Time.
Oh.
It actually is called that too. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not called The Reel of Time. It's The Wheel of
Yeah,
Time.
that's based on a series of books.
Fantasy books, because everyone loves fantasy.
Apparently. I mean, Game of Thrones made a ton of money.
It did, even though the last 3 seasons were kind of terrible.
Mostly the last one, but we don't
But-
need to get into that.
We don't need to, but I think we should.
How about we watch the hand? and-
Okay. Fine.
Ken's got a good shot here with Queen Jack of clubs against these two hands.
Yep.
And now he is in the garbage can. Stewart loves the flop. Wants to
Gonna
kiss
check
it.
through, and nothing gets better.
Ever.
Time for Stuart to start betting.
Life is a dark hole. Nothing ever gets better.
Wonka's got nothing. The Destroyer of Worlds calls. I hope he's got plans. I hope he doesn't just check this back if it goes check, check. This is a great card
It's
for
a
the
really
Destroyer of
good
Worlds.
card to bluff.
Yeah, like 200 at a time, 300 at a time, 150 at a time.
Let's see how Stuart can bet this. Got it. Oh, no. You have to bet that, Ken.
He does.
Ken's the kind of guy who absolutely calls with ace high on the turn there, too. As we see, he called with queen high. He can have that ace.
Well, Vince, it looks like young Sheldon knew more about biology than the teacher yet again.
The teacher. Because Ken's a teacher?
No, I'm
Oh,
trying to think of
doing a Young
a
Sheldon thing.
likely plot of young Sheldon is that young
Ah.
Sheldon knows more than the teacher, right?
Probably.
He's constantly correcting the teacher.
I'm sure he is. You've seen a lot of Young Sheldon, have you?
No, it's like
You're a big fan of Young
it's
Sheldon?
so obvious.
Because you keep bringing up The Big Bang Theory also, and you know those are
I
it's a
know,
spin-off show from
because
The Big
I
Bang
thought it
Theory.
was funny to think that Wheel's favorite show is The Big Bang Theory.
You know how we know you
Then
thought that? You know how we know you thought that? It's because you've made that joke like 30 times in this one episode already, and it's never
because you
been
keep
funny.
talking about what show
It's never been funny.
You're the worst co-host.
Yeah.
I would rather do this with Vince Van Patten.
Wow. That was uncalled for.
Sorry, I went too far.
Yeah, that was really. I appreciate you apologizing at least.
At least I didn't say Jesse May.
Yeah, that would have been. I would have known that was ridiculous, though. I'd be like, you've lost your mind. When you say Vince Van Patten, it hurts me.
I'm hearing from one of the unnamed interns because I've forgotten to remember their names.
That's okay.
That this is the last hand.
Okay. Cool.
Stewart's got the lead, and I give him a big shot to win this hand. I'm a little surprised.
What?
Whoa,
Wait,
Wheel's going to
wait,
lead.
Wait.
I'm kind of surprised Wheel called pre-flop.
Me
and
too.
I'm surprised he's doing this also, but
Well, if he
it's going to
called-
work.
If he called, having a plan to try and win the pot when you don't flop something is a good idea. This is a weird line to take.
Stewart doesn't believe, and I understand why.
Yeah.
Wheel's basically repping a set of deuces or threes, right, most of the time?
I mean, that's what he's repping, but because it's wheel in reality, if I was Stuart, I think the best hand he ever has here is like King 10 suited.
Stuart wants to do something, but it looks like he's not going
Yeah.
to. Well, we'll see if he grows a pair next week on Poker Time.